Armada Kickoff is brought to you by Community First Credit Union, Winn-Dixie, Baptist Health, Bowden Eye and Associates, Brumos Automotive, and Coastal Spine and Pain Center.
Welcome into Armada Kickoff. Now with 2 preseason friendlies in the books, the Armada look forward to their first ever home preseason match at their regular home grounds, the baseball grounds of Jacksonville Community First Park. We'll also have highlights coming up from Wednesday's preseason friendly in Charleston.
We'll also get to know 2 more players from the Armada roster, former JU Dolphin Nerded Rustich and Nick Pereira, who scored the first unofficial goal in Armada history. We'll explain that a little bit later.
And we're also going to look at what's expected out of the Armada goalkeepers in Bob's Bootroom and have our Analyst Roundtable, but we'll start with the action in Charleston. The Armada beat an MLS side last Saturday. Then they went on the road to face the Charleston Battery of the USL. Charleston finished 5th in the USL last season, advanced to the playoffs, so this is a pretty good matchup for the Armada. Let's see how it went down in Charleston. Certainly some fans on the road, members of Section 904, cheering on the Armada in Charleston. They watched Marcos Flores make his Armada debut. He would play the first half and then some. And early on, Flores would set up Jaime Castrillon. Castrillon, though, can't get a good boot on it. This would be one of the themes, missed opportunities. Also in the first half, Pascal Million with a cross, but nobody was home. Armada really handled the opportunities in the first half, had possession, and it looked like they would take the lead here when Jamal Johnson snuck one past the goalkeeper, but the flag was up. He was called offsides. That was the best scoring chance in the first half for the Armada. Later in the first half, one of the rare first half chances for the Battery. Didn't get much on it, and Miguel Gallardo handles it easily for the Armada. At halftime, it was scoreless. Second half, Battery starting to build. They didn't have a lot of opportunities, but they took advantage of this one. A little bit of a breakdown of the right side defensively for the Armada. It's off the hands of Gallardo and in. Austin Savage with the goal for Charleston, and it's 1-0 at that point. Gallardo not pleased. Armada would have a chance to come back on the run out. It was Jamal Johnson, but a little bit of a heavy first touch. He doesn't actually get back to it before the goalkeeper comes off his line. It remains a 1-0 Charleston lead. Another opportunity here. Tommy Kruzanovic, another heavy touch. And it would finish 1-0 Charleston with the victory.
It's not where you start, it's where you finish. And, you know, a game like this, we can take a, you know, it can be a big learning piece, a big game, you know, a game that you can learn from more than the Philly game.
Sacamos muchas conclusiones mucho más positivas que los partidos anteriores, porque bueno, el campo de juego lento, veníamos a hacer un trabajo en arena bastante duro y bueno, estos partidos son, al ser tan duros así, sacan mejores conclusiones que en el partido anteriores.
We are ahead of a lot of difficult moments but this is a practice game, and we did something amazing in terms of tactics. In patches of the games, we defend with 2 players. So 2 people who actually knows about the game will embrace that.
And you take a look at some of the numbers here and what really played out as far as the Armada was concerned. They had more chances, did get some shots on goal, and really the possession percentage was pretty dramatically in the Armada's favor in the first half. It was about 58% in the first half. It came out just about even, but it was missed opportunities, and maybe all of the training and conditioning in the week leading up to the match may have impacted the Armada in terms of the lively legs that they had or didn't have against Charleston.
So here's what's coming up for the Armada in the coming weeks. They'll host the first match ever at Community First Park at the baseball grounds of Jacksonville on February 28th against the Fort Lauderdale Strikers. That's a 7:30 start. We'll have that one for you here on CW17. Then on March 8th, a return visit from Charleston. That's a Sunday afternoon match, radio only, no TV for that one. And then a trip to Fort Lauderdale on March 21st. The following week, March 25th and 28th, it's the NASL Challenge Cup with 3 other NASL teams coming to town. More on those matches as we get closer. The next match for the Armada is against the Fort Lauderdale Strikers, and it is set for February 28th. That's just 8 days away from today. Not a lot of time to claim your seats. As we've mentioned, this will be the first time the Armada will play at Community First Park and the first time the stadium will go from a baseball field to a soccer pitch. Get your tickets by calling 844-2-ARMADA or online at armadafc.com.
Our Farrah and Farrah man of the match from the Armada 1-0 loss in Charleston is defender Matt Boehner. Throughout the course of much of the contest, the Armada was really playing with 2 defenders back, really sending the outside fullbacks forward. Boehner did a very good job playing physically and getting in front of things like this throughout the course of the contest. Boehner going to be a key performer for the Armada this year if they are to keep things rolling.
We were especially in the second half, we were trying to attack a lot. So we were taking a lot of risks in the back, and we were 1v1 a lot. And, what they were doing today, it seemed like they were just booting the ball long and really just coming at us. And unfortunately, they were able to put them back in the back of the net.
All right, last thought here. Next time out, you'll be at the Community First Park at the baseball grounds. What do you expect that atmosphere to be like, and what are you looking forward to for that one?
Oh, certainly. Definitely we're looking forward to be back at home, being around our fans. They were a big driver of our first game at Philly, so we'd be excited to that. And after this performance, you're always looking forward to the next one, and righting the ship and really putting a good foot forward. We're excited to play on the 28th.
Nerden Rustage is one of 5 players on the Armada roster who have Jacksonville ties. Rustage went to Wolfson High School and started at JU. And he told Cole Pepper that he's a little overwhelmed when he first entered the Armada lineup last Saturday against Philadelphia. It was certainly a moment he'll never forget.
See Nerden Rustage on the left there.
Rustage estimates that nearly 100 friends and family were in attendance at Everbank Field, making his Jacksonville pro debut even sweeter.
Oh, it was awesome. Coming in when I came in and having all the support from family that was there, friends and family from all over that came to watch the game. And as soon as I came in, the adrenaline hit me for a second, but then it kind of just went smooth. So it was awesome.
As the tallest of the Armada players, he put his height to good use after the game, leaping up to celebrate with supporters, including Section 904.
Just wanted to show him that we were grateful and happy to have him there, especially the whole 904 section. They did an awesome job creating a great environment. So just wanted to give back from the players as well. I'm pretty sure everybody would have done the same thing if they could have jumped up there. It was pretty far up in the air, so me being the tallest guy, I got up there. But it was great. Just wanted to show the fans that we loved it.
With 2 scrimmages and a game against MLS opposition, plus 1 preseason friendly in the books against the USL squad, Rustage says that he's expecting hungry opposition in the preseason, regardless of the level of the team the Armada face.
USL teams and ASL teams, all teams are going to be hungry, especially with a lot of childless players wanting to get a spot on the roster. So I think they're going to give it 100%, try to win the spot. So it definitely might even be tougher to play a USL or an ASL team than an MLS team. So I feel like it's just going to be just as competitive as any game, whether it's an MLS, USL, or NASL team. We're just going to have to be 100%.
For Nick Perea, his debut with the Armada as a trialist against MLS side NYCFC was something most soccer players dream about. Perea scored the one and only goal of the match, and soon after signed his first professional contract with the Armada, as Krissty Andaur tells us more.
That moment for Perea came midway through the scrimmage, and he says it wasn't just the goal that he scored during that match that helped him make the team. In fact, it was much more than that.
The goal, not so much, but Guillermo has told me that my leadership, he liked it a lot, the way I spoke on the field, the way I demanded from our teammates. So I think that was one of the things that stood out the most from them. And, the goal was just adding on to a good game that we had and a good showing.
Perea, who played for Syracuse University and grew up in Hollywood, Florida, played in the second half of the Armada's inaugural preseason match against the Philadelphia Union, which he calls a good start for the club.
It was great from a team's standpoint and the fan standpoint, the support we had. We could always learn from it, even though we won that game by a margin. You could always improve, and that's what we're doing right now.
And that hard work is something Perea hopes will help him reach his rather lofty goals before the start of the season.
Hopefully to get in the starting lineup and be able to contribute some goals, contribute some wins for the team.
And in Charleston, we saw Perea come on in the second half as he did against Philadelphia for the Armada. Coming up, we head to Bob's Bootroom as Bob Veal shows us what is expected of the Armada goalkeepers this year.
Plus, Andy Kidd and David Hayes join Cole at the Analyst Roundtable. That's coming up on Armada Kickoff.
Armada season tickets are on sale now. They are going fast. Be sure to get your seats. Interest-free monthly payment plans still apply. You can also get invitation to special events as a season ticket owner. And if you buy a 3-year season ticket, you can have a personalized brick installed at the permanent Armada FC Stadium. Tickets start at just $10 per match. Call 844-2-ARMADA or online at armadafc.com. Let's spend a minute here on one of the teams the Armada will be facing this season in the NASL. This week we focus on Indianapolis. The Indy 11 came into the league in 2014 and made an immediate splash at the turnstiles. Indy sold out every home match and led the league, averaging over 10,000 per contest. On the pitch, the results lagged. In the spring season, they lost 5, drew 4 without a victory. But in the fall, things started to turn around a bit for Indy, winning 23 points from 18 games, winning 6, drawing 5, and losing 7. There could be big things on the horizon for Indy 11. They're proposing an $82 million stadium they're calling the Stadium for Indiana. If they can get it built, it could be a game changer for soccer in Indianapolis and in the NASL. Now let's head to Bob's Boot Room, presented by Nike. Here are Bob Veal and Krissty Andaur.
Thanks, Cole. Okay, Bob, so the Armada have been playing their goalkeeper sort of as a sweeper keeper, as a 5th defender in the match. What do you think about this approach in soccer?
Well, I like to take it back. We've all played soccer at a young age. You remember the coaches would look around. Who is going to be the goalkeeper? The guy who was the slowest, didn't play very well outfield, wasn't that interested. Oh, you can go and goal. That is not so now. The goalkeeper has to be an athlete. He has to play with his feet. He has to understand the game technically. And what we're talking about is if we've got our 4 defenders here and the ball is played through them, the goalkeeper, it's his job to come out and collect it wherever it is. If it's played over the top of them, his job to come out and collect it. Now, of course, outside the box, he can't handle it. And that's where he has to be very good with his feet, has to control the ball and look around and look at technically where players are. Because once he controls it with his feet here, he'll have an attacker coming on him. He's got to have another player free out in this area or out in this area to be able to pass it to. That springboards our attack. Now you see Manuel Neuer, the German goalkeeper and World Cup player, who I saw once when he was right on the halfway line heading a ball. So that is a tremendous risk. Now this is a risk and reward tactic. So if he's out here and he misses it, there is nobody. The attack's going to move in and we don't have a goalkeeper, basically. So it's a very risky, but what is the reward? The reward is that you can springboard into your attack while their players, well, the opposition, are still getting back from their offensive move. They're still running back. We springboard with the ball out here. They have to turn.
Pushing the game forward.
Pushing it into their half very quickly, where they're going to have to try and turn and tackle that. So it's a great maneuver for springboarding the attack. And that's why the goalkeeper has to understand the game a lot more than they used to. We used to talk about the goalkeeper getting their angles right and playing on their line, but now they have to understand when to go and when not to go. And when the ball comes through, do I go collect it? Have I got a player to springboard it? And the same as when they catch the ball. You see them run to the edge of it and they slow the game down. That's because nobody is available for them. They slow it down and they might boot it up the field, the big kick. But you know,
and we've been able to see Gallardo do this in
Yeah,
several matches.
But 70% of the time, a defender will win that ball with the big boot. And when the defender wins it, you're back defending again. They're back attacking. So it's not a great tactic to boot it up the field. If you have no options, nobody's moved out to collect the ball or nobody's moved back to collect it, then you do the big boot up the field.
All right. Thanks, Bob.
Thank you.
Cole?
All right, thank you, guys. Coming up, the Analyst Roundtable. We'll talk about how we should put this most recent Armada match in perspective. That's straight ahead, right here on Armada Kickoff.
The Armada Social Rewards program is a great way to stay connected with the team via social media. Why not get rewarded for being active on social media like most of us already are? Just go online at armadasocialrewards.com, create an account, and start earning free stuff like jerseys, scarves, and even tickets to future matches. All you have to do is mention the Armada using your social media, like, tweet, and tag, and earn prizes. Simple, right? Well, each week we'll pick a random winner, and this week's winner is Heather Fury. Congratulations, you've won 2 tickets to the Fort Lauderdale Strikers match on February 28th. Thanks for keeping up with the Armada via social media. And now let's head over to the roundtable. Cole?
All right, thank you, Krissty. Our Analyst Roundtable, Andy Kidd, David Hayes. Let's first talk about how we should look at the preseason. David, is it results? Is it performance? How do you analyze these preseason matches in general?
I mean, preseason to me is not important. They're all trying to get fit. You know, they're all going through preseason, running on the beach, doing the travel, doing all the necessary things to get ready for the season. It's always good to get together because you build that cohesiveness and identity that you're trying to build. But as far as results, I'm not concerned about that at all.
From a player's standpoint, from a coaching standpoint, what do you look for? What do you want to get out of a preseason?
Right. And the preseason, and building off of what David said, the preseason is a marathon. It's not a sprint. So you're going through practices. The coaches are trying to get them fit, just like David said. They're trying to get them ready for that first regular season match. They're not so much getting them ready for the Charleston Battery match or the Fort Lauderdale Strikers match. They're looking to get things out of each one of those games leading up to the regular season. But results, the coaches aren't worried about if they're getting a W or not. The fans are worried about it. We'd love to see us continue to get W's like we did with the Union. But from a coaching standpoint, they're just trying to get those players in the best shape possible, playing at the highest level possible for the first game.
And one of the guys who's trying to get fit is Marcos Flores, who, coming off a knee injury, says his knee is fine, told me that he's healthy and everything's feeling good there. But how long should we expect it to take for him to fully round into form?
I really think that they're going to he'll be ready for the first game. Let's say that. He's been successful at every level he's played at. He just came over from Australia. He's traveling. He's getting his family together. He's getting his situation together here. He's coming off a knee injury. So I think he'll be ready for that first game. It's hard to tell. Different players coming into a new team react differently, but he seems to be a team guy, and I don't think it'll take that long.
Yeah, he comes in with experience. He knows what he needs to do to get ready for the season. When I got older in my career, it took me a little bit longer. The young guys come in and they're ready to go. For me, I knew what I needed to do because I was seasoned, and so is he. So he'll be ready for the first game.
By the way, not just soccer. When you get older, it gets a little tougher in a lot of things. It's not just on the pitch, that's for sure. First match at Community First Park is a week from Saturday as the Fort Lauderdale Strikers come to town. What's important about this for the team?
I mean, again, just another time to get out there and enjoy the atmosphere, enjoy the game, and to gain that experience and to gain that, again, a cohesiveness and identity that they're trying to build on. And I think that's what's important.
Yeah, each game we've seen that the team's been able to create chances. They've been dangerous going forward. We've been relatively difficult to get through. We're not giving up 3 goals a game. So if you just continue to build on that momentum, I think that would be a success. Obviously, the fans would love to see us get another W in front of a big crowd at our home field. So that's kind of what I'd be looking for, is just to continue to build on the momentum.
Is there anything about learning the home pitch, learning the playing surface for the first time?
Absolutely. The more you get out there, the better you know. You know all the little, dings in the field, little dents, little areas of the field that are good. And, so it's always important to know the home field.
And they'll take on the Fort Lauderdale Strikers. It's going to be interesting to see how the rivalries start to develop for the Armada. Who do you expect the rivals will be?
I think Tampa and Fort Lauderdale. I think obviously they're so close that, they're within, 5 hours. I mean, I think that's going to be the rivalry.
I think, David hit the nail on the head. There's going to be some natural rivalries regionally. But as we were talking about before the show, if a conflict arises, whether it's, a couple tough tackles that our team takes exception to against the team, and you start to build some hostility and have some tight games with a certain city, then you'll build that rivalry over time.
It's going to be interesting, too. Indy, you have the Colts-Jaguars rivalry that could impact that a little bit. Fans of both sides not necessarily liking each other. Then you have the New York rivalry. Everybody's a rival with the Cosmos, it feels like. So we'll see how those develop as the NASL season approaches. Andy Kidd, David Hayes, thanks so much.
Thank you.
All right, still to come, we look ahead to your next chance to see the Armada in action. Stick around. More to come right here on Armada Kickoff. All right, you can get your spring season half packs for the Armada. A great chance for you to get the final home preseason friendly that's on this list right now. You see Fort Lauderdale Strikers, that'll be a big one, an NASL opponent, and then all of the 5 spring season NASL home fixtures, and you can get them all wrapped up. Guarantee your seats at Community First Park of the baseball grounds. Call 844-2-ARMADA or online at armadafc.com. Hey, Krissty, have you checked out armadafc.com yet?
Never.
Oh, come on. You know you have.
Of course, there's always new things on there, so I always look at it.
What's your favorite part?
I would have to say maybe the player features.
Okay. I also like the social rewards on there. You talk about that in the show.
Absolutely.
What else do you like?
Or the printable schedules.
And?
The player roster.
And?
Pep talk.
That's what I'm looking for. You can check out, I just appreciate you that you said that.
Absolutely.
You can check out armadafc.com to stay up to date all week long, 24/7 with the Armada. A reminder that your next chance to see the Armada play at home comes a week from tomorrow, Saturday, February 28th, against Fort Lauderdale. The Strikers were NASL finalists last year, losing out to San Antonio in the championship. There are still some tickets available, but they're going fast. We do expect this to be a sellout at Community First Park, so call 844-2-ARMADA or go online at the aforementioned armadafc.com to get your tickets right now.
I'm really looking forward to this match. I mean, it's so exciting. The baseball field into a soccer field. It's going to be so exciting for everyone.
Also, it's a building rivalry. There was a great rivalry between the Jacksonville team and the Fort Lauderdale Strikers in the NASL's first incarnation. Looking forward to seeing how it all plays out with the Armada and the Fort Lauderdale Strikers as well. Remember, you can get the very latest on the Armada on radio every Friday at 3 on Sports Radio 930, the Armada Soccer Show with Bob Veal and me. And we'll be back right here next week on Armada Kickoff. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll leave you now with the highlights from the Armada's contest in Charleston against the Battery. Have a great weekend.